Okay, I'm laughing. I'm already laughing. Didn't even say a word, and I'm laughing. All right, people. Look, we have a lot to cover here. It's just too much. Honestly, it's unbelievable. So, post market wrap up on this beautiful, lovely Thursday, November 21st, 2024. So, what do you guys and girls want to talk about? How about this? This is the economic news that we got just this morning. I want to just read this real quick, and I want to show you a few things. So we're gonna have some fun. Yeah, you and I, we're gonna have some fun. So this morning we find out number one, business activity remains in contraction. Factory activity in contraction. Manufacturing output and orders continue to fall. Continuing jobless claims come in at the highest level since the scamdemic. With that, stocks higher across the board. Isn't that just beautiful? Now, the NASDAQ here was an underperformer because of Alphabet. Alphabet, with this issue they may be dealing with, antitrust, whatever it might be, some other nonsensical garbage. No. Just again, now we're going to have, that was the fun part. Are you ready? That was just insanity. This is the fun part. So again, business activity contraction, factory activity contraction, manufacturing output, all that stuff. The economy is on track to keep growing despite 8 straight declines in a key gauge. They're talking about the leading economic index here. Again, in free fall. But don't worry, because it's the economy it's still going to keep on growing. Yeah, you know what's going to keep on growing? Well, they're Pinocchio noses, but I'm going to show you something. This is going back to 1947. Total United States government spending to GDP. How does that look? You see where we're going here? You see my little arrow here? We're not going to be cutting anything, in case you're thinking we are. I'm sorry, because it's not going to happen. You're going to see again. First of all, we are going to run massive debts and deficits like you can't believe moving forward. Now, who's going to make up the difference? Who's going to make up the gap in the debt and the deficits? Yes, bing, bing, bing. It's going to be the Federal Reserve. You have people, this is actually going to go parabolic. Ain't going lower, okay? So just remember I said that here. Now, I want to bring a couple of other things to your attention. We did get a nice, big, fat, ugly warning from the Federal Reserve, from the freaking freak show of freak shows, which we're going to talk about in just a moment here. But I want to show you something. This market, again, it's unbelievable. It makes me want to freak out a little bit. All this bad economic news from this morning alone, market goes up. Market shrugging everything off that's being thrown at it. Now, let's look at a couple of other things. U.S. 10-year yield, again, we're kind of in a really bad spot here. Jeffrey, thank you, buddy. Easy money, yeah. We're in a bad spot here with regard to the 10-year yield, very close to the federal funds rate, but the market doesn't seem to be bothered by that. Dollar strength today. This is fear on a nuclear tactical nuke going off somewhere in the world. Obviously, all this stuff that's going on. The MMRI here, because of these factors, higher. We're very close to a red zone, which is extreme risk. Market don't care. Market don't care. It's beautiful. Some of that is this. Now, you see this here? What are we looking at? When you see this movement, this is a sell-off in the debt market. Now, that cash, when people sell something, it has to usually go somewhere or they're going to sit in cash for a while. It looks like clearly that this sell-off here, people were probably sitting in some cash for a while. Now they're throwing it into cryptocurrency, with Bitcoin hitting another record, almost 99,000. Obviously going here into the stock market. Now, again, let's see what the Fed does. The Fed, look, they have options, obviously. They have unlimited firepower. They could just create digits to a screen, add them like they want, any amount. Okay, it's obviously currency purchasing power negative. That's where we're going to get inflation shocks moving forward, according to Fed Barkin. Barkin. I can't stand him. Thing, creature. It's another subhuman, non-human entity. But anyway, the Fed really can do whatever it wants with no oversight. And there's a setup going on here in case you guys don't know. And I think it's theater. All right, what do we know? Let's put this together before I move forward. The Fed can obviously get into the debt market and buy more debt, which I suspect they're going to do as part of their mechanism to inflate, along with the other central banks. They're all doing the same thing. That means we lose. Unless, of course, we're playing the game and you're in cryptocurrency, you're in the market, you're betting against the system by holding gold and silver and gaining exposure to commodities. Crude oil put on a nice gain today. Again, Middle East war. Oh, wait till you see where that's going moving forward. Forget about Ukraine, Russia. Okay, that's where they got us looking over there. Look over there. Look over there, everyone. Wait till you see what's going to happen over in the Middle East. Oh, the setup here is just epic, man. Epic, epic, epic. But anyway, what was I leading up to? Talking about the Fed. Okay, I did say that what they're going to. Oh, yeah. The setup here. There's an interesting dynamic, and I want to outline this to you because this is exactly how it's going to play out. Are you ready? Remember I said this, maybe you want to write it down or save the video. So the Federal Reserve, as we know, they've been cutting rates, and I really believe, and I could be wrong on this, but I think next FOMC meeting next month, the Fed's going to be hard-pressed to cut because, again, inflation continues to rise. And we're getting a warning from Fed Barkin Freak, which we'll talk about in a moment, that we could possibly see inflation shocks moving forward. Is anything going to shock you? No. You already know that. We all understand that this mechanism can't be stopped. How can they possibly stop it? I want you to think about what I'm going to say. I told you guys from, I don't know, years ago, the Fed wants to stop inflation or any central bank wants to stop inflation. Let me get my economists here together. Those of us who understand economics and finance even a little bit. To stop inflation, which is what? Currency devaluation. See, it's interesting. They can't tell you that. Imagine if they substituted the word inflation for currency devaluation. People would wake up. They would start to say, wait a minute, inflation? Inflation is the same thing as currency devaluation? Why would I want my currency devalued? I don't want that. But you see, that's how stupid they think you are. And I find it highly insulting because I know every single one of you are definitely not stupid. Hold on a minute. I got to just get rid of this person here real quick here. I want to hide this guy. Did it work? Yeah, it did. Anyway, let us have some fun. So anyway, again, inflation, currency devaluation. They can't tell you that. Inflation is obviously currency devaluation. And who's responsible for monetary policy and therefore currency devaluation? Well, it certainly isn't presidents. It's obviously the Federal Reserve here. But the issue is just too simple. If a central bank, any central bank wants to stop inflation, it needs to raise rates dramatically to get a stronger currency. Are we on the same page? Bing, bing, bing. Did it just go off in your head? Wow, Greg is right. But you can't know that. This is what they can't allow you to know. So the Federal Reserve, again, they're doing the polar opposite of what they should be doing. Again, we need a stronger currency, not a weaker currency. We need higher rates. We don't need lower rates, although the illustrious, beautiful man, Donald Trump, promised you lower rates, which is exactly what the Fed. Again, when a central banker hears a presidential selectee, a president say, "I promise you all lower rates," they have to go change their underwear because they spray everywhere. It's like they go into full or multiple orgasm mode. Really? Oh yeah. You mean we get to print more cash out of nothing? Oh, we get to buy more debt. Oh, thank you. I mean, it's obviously, Trump is working with the Federal Reserve to destroy you, but that's okay. I think most of you here are aware of that. But interesting. Here's the setup. Trump is going to go berserk, and you're already hearing about it. If you go to like CNBC, Bloomberg, they're talking about the confrontation between Trump and the Fed. Trump promised you lower rates. He wants lower rates, more easy money pumped into the market. That's probably why the market is orgasmic, going, flying higher after everything that's thrown at it. But the Fed's going to pause. The Fed may not want to lower rates so dramatically again. That they eventually are going to, but more slow and methodically. Trump is kind of the guy that's going to want it to happen now. He wants to make his friends richer now. People like me and you, too, we're in the market. making us a lot richer. You're in cryptocurrency, you're making us a lot richer too. We're loving it. Obviously, that means that the price action of commodities is going to remain suppressed. Doesn't mean it's not going to go higher. Gives us opportunity. So we got opportunity all over the place. Whatever freak that they put behind the Resolute desk don't matter to me. There's always a counter strategy, and you and I are already doing it here. But anyway, so it's insanity. Now let's talk about this. So that's the setup here. You're going to hear a lot of back. Trump's probably going to replace a Powell at one point with someone that is a super dove, someone that's going to pump more easy money into the system, more currency devaluation, low rates, maybe even negative rates. That's the real reason Trump was selected, for two reasons. One, to bridge the system, to be the crypto president, mainstream the cryptocurrency, merge the banks with crypto, which is a key. Without the banks being merged with cryptocurrency, crypto president, cryptocurrency capital of the world, they cannot fulfill their end game goal of tokenization. You understand? They needed a guy in there who will do this, will bridge the system. And that's Trump's main job right now, priority number one. Forget about, exporting illegal aliens or something. No, his main job is to bridge the system, or everything else is just fluff. Secondarily, he likes lower rates. He even called for negative rates. We know that. Boneheads. I love that word. I got to start using it. That's what he called the Fed last time, for not going negative with regard to rates. So that's the Trump is in here to bridge the system. We all know that. Everything else is just absolute garbage. It's mouth vomit. You understand? To make you think that maybe you have a winning player, which you don't, unfortunately. You are the winning player yourself. You are a lion. You are the person that's taking action instead of sitting back there and doing nothing and hoping that someone else is going to do something for you, for which they're not going to. So anyway, how about this? Fed Barkin says U.S. is vulnerable to inflation shocks. Whoa, really? The U.S. is more vulnerable to inflation shocks than in the past, according to Fed Barkin, creature vomitous mess puke that he is as well. And this was published in the Financial Times today. So this is interesting. What happened to temporary or transitory? Where's the accountability? Let me ask you that, seriously. Being that during the presidential clown show debate and vice presidential clown show debate, not a single question about monetary policy came up. Again, to keep your eyes off of Barkin and the rest of his freaking team over there. When are we going to hold the Fed to account? We tried to. Again, there's not enough of us, again, who are willing to put our necks on the line here. I know that there are some very, very passionate about it like me. What is this? I blocked, I create another. Well, you got blocked again. Keep creating. I love this. This guy has nothing better to do. Could you imagine? Could you imagine someone he's sitting there. I love this stuff. I love it. Anyway, so tell me again, since we all know who's responsible for inflation, and again, it's not who you've been told. Trump blamed Biden. Biden blamed Trump, or Harris blamed Trump because Trump borrowed more money into existence than everybody else. No president has that power. Okay, they don't have a printing press. You know that. They can't devalue the currency. They can't do it. It's a product of a central bank's monetary policy. But again, there's no accountability. None at all here. So we imagine our shock here. Wait, oh no, I'm shocked. Ah! People, look, we're being set up. We have a mechanism here where rates are being artificially suppressed, currency devaluation, and then we're being told that inflation is going to miraculously turn around. Finally, this guy's telling you the truth. Actually, this is the truth. We are going to face massive inflation shocks, or should I say currency devaluation shock. You understand that? And what's going to happen is it's going to be a blame game. It's just the fault of this because of that. It's going to be the fault because of this. You understand? But everything to distract you from what's really going on. It's freaking believable. But what else would you expect? Now, here's another one. Is higher inflation here to stay? Fed faces hurdles in quest to crush rising prices. Well, hold on a minute. You mean, why are prices rising? Because the currency is losing purchasing power. Why don't they put that here? They can't tell you that because you see, then maybe people would wake up from their sleeping slumber. Can't tell you that. But you're gonna hear more about talks about we need lower rates. That but you're gonna hear the other part missing. You have no idea how angers Greg Mannarino. Hey, I'm gonna make sure we get lower rates moving forward. But they know, you see, Trump went to Wharton Business School. Either he's brain dead, which I don't think he is, or this is a lie by omission. I can't tell the people that means I'm going to have the Fed weaken the currency for them so they can be wiped out and I can make my rich friends even richer. And Musk is going to be a trillionaire soon. Yeah, I got to help him out. And you lose. You lose only if you're on the wrong side of this, okay? But you and me, we are on the right side of this. And nothing is going to stop us. Let the market keep shrugging off all of this. The rising 10-year yield, the dollar on it. This is a relative strength. People keep writing to me, Greg, but the dollar is stronger. The dollar is stronger. People, you got to understand there is relative strength and then there's absolute strength. Absolute strength is this purchasing power. The purchasing power is being robbed. This is theft. This is theft on the grandest of scale. And we're being robbed blind so more millionaires and billionaires can be created. I want you to think about that. How does it feel? Feels good? How does this feel? You think this is going to stop because there's a new czar to cut government waste? So they're going to be used for something else, man. Oh, you got to be kidding me, man. This is a joke. And they think the joke is on us. But the joke is not on us, man. The joke is on them because they're going to play their games, man. We're going to play ours. And we're better at it. And we're smarter than they are. Are we all on the same freaking page here? I think so. Going long, Greg. Roger Gonzalez is asking me if I'm going long. Roger, I am so long this market, I couldn't be longer. As a matter, I am pretty much fully invested, and I've been fully invested for years. Years and years, along with all my lions here. And we're going to continue to stay long commodities. We're going to continue everything. This is the everything hyper bubble. You do realize that, right? But again, no, not really. Let me say this. There are hyper inverse bubbles. The hyper inverse or bubbles to the downside are commodities across the board. None more so than gold and especially silver. Cryptocurrency, Bitcoin in this current environment, we haven't seen. You do realize, people, look, man, I don't answer any of these questions anymore. Again, I know a lot of you keep writing to me. I don't write back because I cover everything here. Bitcoin, the Bitcoin president is going to make sure that the Bitcoin whales, and those of us, I'm not a whale. I own some of this stuff. I'm certainly not a whale. And those of you out here, the multiples higher. And we haven't seen anything yet. You have to understand. The real move higher with regard to crypto and, of course, commodities is going to be when the debt bubble bursts that's being hyper-fueled right now. So this is in its infancy for those of you out here that think you maybe missed the boat, because I hear that about 25 times a freaking day. You think you missed the boat? Wait till you see where Bitcoin's going to be in a very short time. Nobody missed the boat here. You want to get in on this stuff? Now's the time to do it. I know we're at record high. We haven't seen anything yet. I've been telling you that for I don't know how for years, man. And Greg, you're wrong. Greg, you're wrong. Really? I haven't been wrong yet, people. No. And believe me on this, it's just too simple to understand what's going on. And we're going to see something else too. You and I have discussed this a lot. Multiples expansion means that investors are clearly willing to pay anything right now to own shares of stock. Is it going to eventually turn around? Absolutely. But we don't even get a pullback anymore. There's no such thing. When was the last time we had a correction of 5, 10, 15% move lower? I don't even remember when that was. We did get at least 52 record highs for the S&P 500 this year alone, as our economy is freaking in free fall. Make this stuff up. Make any of this stuff up. Make this up, that a Fed thing, vomitous puke creature is telling us that we are vulnerable to inflation shock or currency devaluation shock, of course, here. And a big part of this is going to, people, listen to me. Listen to Greg, because I have your best interest in mind. I really, really do. It's the only reason why I really feel like I'm here. We are going to see, I'm going to say this again. We are going to see supply chain disruptions, and they're going to blame higher prices. Maybe this is a warning on that. Everything you can think, but this is already being set up here. We're being thrust into more war, more funding for war. The scapegoat is probably going to be war. Why everything is coming apart right now? Do you think this is anything here you're seeing? This is just a comedy of errors. It just was a whole bunch of mistakes. That's why we're here. No, you're here. You were put here. You were put here deliberately by the freaking freak show, for which the Federal Reserve is the puppet master, or central banks around the world are the puppet masters. You understand? But what are we going to do? We're going to keep doing our things. We're going to keep doing our things, people. We're not going to stop. We're not going to stop. Nothing's going to get in our way. Nothing at all is going to get in our way. I've been telling, for how long? How many years have I been saying that? For how many years have I been dead on? We always got each other's backs. I got your back, and I know you got mine. We're a family of freaking lions, and stay the freak out of our way. Anyone that doesn't want to get rolled over, eaten alive. Join the pride, man. If you're new here, we welcome you to this pride here. What advice would older Greg give to the younger Greg with the knowledge and experience he has now? You know, I'll tell you something, man, with regard to advice. People gave me a lot of advice over the years here, but you know what you got to do, unfortunately, here, Dr. Rizwan? You got to make these mistakes on your own. It's unfortunate that youth is wasted in many ways on the young, but they got to learn. We all got to learn. I've made more mistakes than probably 10 men put together in my life, maybe more than 10. I've always been a risk taker. And that's just in my nature, I suppose. And because of that, I've gotten smacked around quite a few times. I'm not a guy that backs down to anything. I've always been like that too. And that could get you in a little bit of trouble as well here. I don't know if you want to call that a lion instinct or whatever it is here. Sometimes you got to, I don't know, but I just learn from our mistakes, man. That's the advice. Learn. You're gonna make mistakes. We all are, and we're gonna continue to make mistakes. You think I'm done making mistakes? Oh no. I know that I'm gonna make some other mistakes too, but don't make as many mistakes as I have, man. I really have probably set the bar pretty high from making mistakes, but that's how we learn, man. That's how we learn. We learn things. We learn way more from our mistakes than we do from our successes. And I welcome mistakes. I'll be honest with you. I look at a mistake and I say to myself, what can I learn from it? And that's how I kind of turned it all around here. Anyway, is there the rebel gene? It may be a rebel gene, man. I don't know what it is. It's kind of a bad thing in some ways, or maybe it's not. I don't know. You know, you gotta have that. You gotta have that drive. You know what I mean? In life, I'm a competitive person. As you know, I'm a drag racer. In fact, I'm going drag racing right after this video. I'm going to go burn the quarter mile up a couple of times over here at Bradenton. If you happen to be there, come on by. Be nice to meet some of you. Anyway, look, we got this down, but I really do. Can you believe all this stuff? Look at the propaganda here. Okay, is rising prices? They can't tell you that it's currency devaluation. We're going to get some shocks here with regard to inflation. Again, all this bad economic news just today alone, and we got stock market higher across the board, just as you and I is expected. Trust me on this one. We've nailed it to the wall on this. The worse the economy gets around the world, the higher the markets are going to go. The disconnect. We are now. From years and years ago. Remember this? We're so far off the edges here. It's just an incredible thing. But remember, the economy can keep growing like it's growing now. It's growing. Again, this is today. They're telling you that the economy is growing. Meanwhile, we got business activity in contraction, factory activity in contraction, manufacturing output and orders continue to fall. How are we growing? I'll show you what's growing. That's what's growing. And they're freaking Pinocchio freaking noses. Anyway, what's going to happen, guys and girls? I got to really kind of run here. So I'm going to look at maybe a couple of questions here for you. Lori Smith, Ripple C. I wouldn't doubt it. Trump is the guy. Trump is the guy who's been chosen to bridge the system into the new crypto, the new tokenized system. That's why he was put there. And obviously to help the Fed lower rates, destroy the currency, make sure the wealth continues to be pushed straight up to the 1 and 2 percenters, and it gets sucked right out of you, but you're going to smile about it because that's the way it's going to go. You know, that's the way it is here. These con men. That's what we are. This system here of it's upside down, but that's the way it's going to go. Oh, anyway, people, we're good here, man. All right, look. Natural gas, yes, it's a commodity, absolutely. Bitcoin pullback, I wouldn't be waiting for one. Exotic imports, I wouldn't be waiting for one. I mean, you could wait for one. You may not see one for a long time. Do expect volatility in the crypto space. We all know that, but I wouldn't be waiting for it. I'd be buying right freaking now. It's the truth. I don't know another way to put it. Oh, anyway. Guys and girls, love you all with all I got, and I mean that. I got housing bubble. Adam, we're in an everything bubble, man. Artificially suppressed rates have inflated a real estate and stock market hyper bubble that we've never seen before. It's going to get real here. We all know that, but we're riding the wave. We're riding the wave, and we will get off. But look, right now, if you've been long this market with me for all these years, let's be honest with each other. We made a lot of money. We made a lot of cash. On paper, we're looking pretty good, okay? Until you pull that out and you convert it into something else, on paper, you're doing pretty well here. But there's going to be a point where we are going to realize those gains. Understand? We're going to get out of here. Be first, be smarter, or cheat. Your homework assignment today is to watch Margin Call, all right? Watch Margin Call. It's a lot of truth in there. A lot of wisdom in there, wise minds in there. Anyway, we're going to get out of here. We're going to be one of the first to get out of here. I know I will, and that means you will. You understand? And we're going to keep playing our games, and we're really good at it. We are really good at it. Guys and girls, I'm going to let you all go. You're smarter and you cheat. Yes, JEBQ is still a buy, man, especially if we get lower rates, which, the illustrious, beautiful man Trump has promised us. He's going to work with the Fed to make sure that happens here. Rates are going down. That means the currency is going to lose its purchasing power. That means that these inflation shocks, or should I say currency devaluation shocks that Barkin is talking about, it's going to happen. You all know that. Am I right? Anyway, guys, look, I wanted to just say thank you for being here, all of you. Thank you for your love, your support. Thank you for those thumbs up. Let's do something about that, please, people. Those thumbs up are important. Please comment. I don't care what you say. Say something. It helps the algorithms, all right? I will see all of you in the morning. If you want to see some of my runs later, I will post them on my Instagram. There is a link in the description of this video. Let me just show you something real quick. To date, this is my best ET. I ran an 8.29. That mile per hour is a little low because I came off the throttle too early. I ran 167.8 mile per hour the last time, but I want to try to beat that 8.29 quarter mile ET. I'm working on beating that tonight. So we'll see if I get there. All right. That's it. Love you all. Maybe I'll see you at the track. Maybe I'll see you on my Instagram, but I will definitely see you in the morning. All right. Love you all from the heart. I mean it. Bye.